It's 1861. The USA just experienced the roughest time of its entire years. So, and then a group just started to declare its independence. It was some places want to still have slaves as money, but they had to do something. Since the New Oklahoma Treaty, if your piece of land goes under the Missouri Panhandle, which is basically the line, Kentucky actually perfectly goes there, but Missouri couldn't join. The Oklahoma, they really saw they had real control over a lot, and when they tried to do it, they called themselves the Confederate States of America. Confederate States of America. Cause Virginia quickly gets invaded to get Maryland, and they slowly get beaten. But then they took over Texas, and they really made the Confederates smaller. But then the Confederates had a boost. It's true they lost that and that. They got back Louisiana, but they quickly was planning to do something, and their plan was successful. They created West Virginia. Didn't last long. Make us an entire united republic. Arkansas was a huge dispute. People said it was. People said. But was quickly, which made them to quickly take over Arkansas. And there was a plan, and their plan successful. They said they could, but now this was a war. There was the east side and the western side. The eastern side wanted to prove a point. Had more. The western side had more valuables and more population, while the eastern side were a little more corrupted. The government treated the east side so horribly that they decided to say, hey, they entered the war in a stalemate, but then the war was about to continue soon. The war ended in a stalemate in 1862. World War I happened. The USA still beats them, Germany. World War II happened. World War II is still beaten, but it's hard to win. It was still won. Not that easy, but it was won. The Confederates almost joined the war on German side, which would have caused another war, which would have just caused their country to be complete annexation. They didn't join the Allies until 1944. On April 12, 1945. And then it was complete.
You must not hear a thing I just said. You can go over there.
And then it happened. The Cold War happened, which made the East and the Western USA both in high dangerous tensions. Both were at peak for an all-out global war. But if one of them decided to say, "Hey, one just joins the Mason and Link and donates way more money all around the world," well, they decide to say, "Hey, you know what? I'm done with socialism. We're doing something new. We're doing communism." They did communism, and then it was Korea, a stalemate. Vietnam, a loss for the USA, but a huge win. And for that, the Soviets gave the Eastern money. But with them, they still had more land. The more land they had, the more they got stronger. Wanted with more money. So then they actually decided to say, "Hey," Soviets actually gave them another place to launch a full-scale invasion. So on June 27th, 1980, what no? 10 years after Vietnam, 83, they launched a full-scale invasion. It took lots of states within months. They wanted to prove that they could be strong. They took the Dakotas, and then now there was the Rocky Mountains, which kinda hurt them, but they just straight up overall bombed the mountains. Even though it was natural terrain, they bombed it to give them more land, which was a problem for them. Cascadia fell, and this was proven almost the end until their allies came by after over a century. War was finally breaking out. Their allies quickly, with the bomb territory, the Soviet Union gave them bombs just in case they needed it. So when the USA decided to launch a nuclear missile, they sent it from Texas all the way. It landed right at the capital of D.C. The president saw it and intercepted it, and they saw that they were about to be nuked. So when they decided to send the missile, which blew up the missile place where the missiles were repaired in Texas, they blew it up, causing mass catastrophe. So with Texas really being nuclear, and seeing this might be a nuclear war, Texas decides to declare its independence. And fearing this, the Alaskans, the Californians leave, Louisianans leave. Then eventually the Louisianas, scared of being nuclear missile, joins them. And with them really knowing how to aim a missile in major positions, Texas joined. California and Alaska destroyed. So they dropped one on us. The navies were really stopping them from getting trade. Even though they had one of the richest places, they decided to say, "Hey." And then they just and this was really time. They bombed the naval base of Pearl Harbor with the nuke, which really discombobulated them. But then there was an entire region that was a great place for nuking, but it's real well defended. They just decided to say, hey, we're leaving. These regions decided to leave. These groups decided to stay away. And then they eventually joined why Louisiana joined. It looks like a war was on one person's favor. And then the USA only had 12. So with them, Colorado, Utah, and they could have made an encirclement. The Californian forces running out of training actually helps occupy Nevada. These two regions get conquered after New Hawaii gets captured. North Dakota stands as the last American state, and then they fall. Oh, that's all for today until I get more things I want to do. See you next time, and sorry for the interruptions, but we